was awesome.
Oh, thank you.
That was awesome playing. Very cool. Very creative.
Thank you.
Very responsible. Very responsible. I love it. Everyone, welcome our newest guest here, Henrique De Almeida.
Thanks.
And he is an amazing drummer and an amazing instructor here. You are the associate professor, or one of the associate professors at Berklee.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You were also the author of a couple books. Now, you have those books behind you. Why don't you show them to us what they are?
I have this new Polyrhythmic Possibilities available on Amazon.com.
Yep. Here we go. And with this book here, we're going to do a course with some ideas and concepts from this for all you Drumeo Edge members. You also have done this one here.
Also on Amazon.com.
Molar Techniques Workshop. Again, we're doing another course with Henrique after this for you Edge members on the Molar method and the Molar technique. And what's this one here?
This is double bass integration. This is a double bass book, but it's like coming more from the jazz fusion, believe it or not, with the double bass.
Yes.
And by the way, those 3 books, some of the subjects that I teach at Berklee, and the polyrhythm and the double bass and the Molar are very popular. They're a very popular class. Some of my most popular classes there.
Really?
Yeah.
You say they're always booked. You always have full
classes.
Yeah,
the Molar was so popular we had to do more than one session of the class, and I love to teach that. It's great. It's fun.
That's incredible. He's an incredible teacher, guys. I got the opportunity to spend a little bit of time with him yesterday, and within literally 5 minutes, I sat down and I played him a song or groove, and within 5 minutes, he gave me tips, and I was already playing better. That's what you do. That's your bread and butter there. It's teaching, and you do a great job of it.
Thank you.
Everyone at Berklee, you're lucky to have him there. But why don't you tell us quickly, before you get into the lesson, a little bit about yourself, how long you've been playing for, some of the things you've done, for people who might not know you yet.
Sure. I was originally born in Brazil, in Recife, Brazil, Northeast, and I grew up there playing all the Brazilian music, Afro-Cuban, but we also listened to jazz and rock and funk. And so since I was a little kid, you know, we all aware of Buddy Rich, Louis Bellson, Papa Joe, you know, Philly Joe, all those guys. And of course, listened to rock and jazz. And then right after, like during my last years of high school, I got a gig with a big pop star in Brazil, Alceu Valença, and Francis Haim, and I toured with them and came to the US, Europe, visit Berklee, and decided to leave that gig to attend Berklee as a student. So after high school, I went to Berklee, graduated in jazz composition. And then I went to Southern Miss, studied under, backing up a little bit, when I was at Berklee, I studied with John Ramsey for most of the time, and then Alan Dawson, for many years, and then Gary Chaffee, which is my mentor. I actually still in touch with Gary, and I see him once in a while, and pretty often lately, actually, and he's fantastic. Then I went and studied with Dr. John Wood in Southern Miss, which was very different. You know, he showed me things that I really didn't spend time with, like rudiments, but not from the Alan Dawson thing, which he can do that too, but was more like working on the Wilcoxon, and he has a great program there too. You should check it out. Southern Miss percussion program is unbelievable, you know, because Dr. Woodman, he plays set great, vibes great, timpani, snare drum, and then he plays steel pan, and he's really great. So then I went to Colorado and spent 13 years with the Air Force Band, and played big bands, marching bands, country band, rock bands. Actually, this track is from the big band, which in my opinion was one of the best big bands that I ever played with. It was really fun to play with. And then now I'm at Berklee there for my 5th fall. So it's very interesting to be there now because I'm still the rookie, because half of the faculty, they used to be my teachers, you know.
That's so cool, yeah.
So it's like you go home to mom and dad, you're still the kid, right?
Yeah.
So it's really awesome. You learn a lot there. I learn a lot from them still. I mean, there's so many great players there. It's amazing. It's an amazing place.
Well, the really cool thing about this lesson, and the topic of this lesson, which is how to audition and how to prepare for auditions, are, first off, you're one of the guys that does the auditioning and sometimes has the yes or no say on these students, but also you have been through so many auditions yourself, and you said you basically have never failed on audition, except for one that you didn't really want to be in, but 40 or plus auditions.
Yes,
and you never
I'm very blessed. God blessed me with that, because including getting the gig at Berklee. So whatever I can help you to, if you have a question how I did that, you know, but just to clarify, every every teacher at Berklee in the percussion department is involved in the audition process.
Yes.
It's just not me.
Yes.
They all do
It's a
that.
team.
Yeah, we all do that, and it's quite a bit. It's a lot.
Yes,
You know,
I'm sure it is.
The
And if you,
numbers
guys,
are-
if you guys have questions for Henrique along the way, get them in below. We'll try to get to them all, but we have a lot of stuff to talk about, so we'll get to it. Before we do, though, just want to thank your sponsors for bringing you out. Yamaha Drums, obviously, Peisty Cymbals, Vic First Sticks, Evans Drumheads, West Tone Audio, Latin Percussion, Earthworks, High Fidelic Microphones, and, of course, Humes and Bird Cases. Am I missing anyone?
Now, I just gonna mention one thing about Peisty because those cymbals are not my cymbals. I just came here and pick it up from over there, and it's like playing my cymbals at home. So that's why I play Peisty.
That's exactly it.
It's like no
Consistency,
difference than
yeah.
my cymbals at home.
Big time.
So just want to put that out
There
there.
you go. We love Peisty here as well. And if you guys want to follow Henrique, if you guys have never heard of him before, maybe you have, you're just trying to find him online. Henrique, actually your first and last name. I'll let you guys go because the spelling is interesting. Go Henrique.
DeAlmeida.com.
There it is, right
HenriqueDeAlmeida.com, yeah.
Yeah, and you can find all of his information on his books. You can find him online if you want to do some Skype lessons and all that with him too. And if you guys like what we're doing here and you want to see the courses we're going to be doing with Henrique after this, you can sign up for free 30 days of Drumeo Edge, drumeo.com/trial. It's 100% free. Give it a shot. But let's get to the teaching side of things. You're going to be talking about how to audition, and really cool hearing it coming from you. So take it away.
Yeah, I think we were talking earlier. One of the most important things that that I want to share with you guys is just, although I'm one of the newest teacher there, this is my 5th fall at Berklee, have said that, I mean, we have like I think 700 drummers. I see personally 240 drummers every week, count with my classes. And I think during the fall, I might be off with those numbers, but the fall semester, maybe we got hundreds of drummers, maybe 200, I don't know, it's only hundreds.
Wow.
So every semester, so I have seen, although I just got there compared to people that are there 40 years, it's quite a big number, you know. So I have seen maybe more auditions than some of the younger guys have auditioned for, you know. So one of the things that I think is important is to understand why you audition, what you audition for. It's important.
Yes.
Because, for instance, some of the auditions are placement auditions. That means that you already accepted to be in the college. So you're not gonna fail that audition, you know, because we are just trying to figure out what is your level, where we're gonna place you at Berklee, where make sure that we're not gonna put you somewhere that you're already too comfortable, or make sure that we're not gonna place you in classes that's too advanced for you. So challenge you a little bit, but you know, you're still confident that you're gonna handle what we're gonna give. So placement auditions, it's quite a different results and a different reason why you're doing, you know. And people sometimes get confused about that, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, relax, you're already in. We're just trying to figure out how to best help you, you know.
Yes.
And there is other types of auditions that we do there, like ensemble auditions to maybe increase your ratings, reading, and stuff like that. So there is no really fail there. You just want to get a higher feedback, and so on and so on. Or if it's a gig that you audition to get a job, you know, to get in a band, that's a different kind of result. So it's kind of important to understand why you audition, where you audition, and what do you expect, kind of results you're shooting for, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So when you have that idea of what it is, I guess what's the next step from there?
The next step would be, and you'd be surprised, you know, like right now I have students that are planning to attend Berklee, and they already have a date for the auditions. So I have students, I have a limited time to teach, but I teach on Skype on Saturdays, and I have people from Germany that's going to audition I think in January. I have people from Canada, Vancouver, and from all over the United States, you know, Georgia, whatever. And one of those guys, several, I said, do you got the audition package? No. Do you know what you're going to play on the audition? So the next step is figure out whoever you're going to audition for, Berklee or another college, what are they going to ask you to do? You need to get a hold of that. And a lot of the young people, they still not like, dude, you got to have that stuff. Email them, talk to them. That, you know, if they have a package, you want to have that on your hand And you want to really know that like you know your phone number. Do you know what you're going to do on audition? Yeah, I'm going to do this, this, or this. They ask me to do that and that and that and this and this and this. So you know that. You have to know. If they don't send anything, try maybe to find out from somebody who did auditions there before, or even somebody who conducted auditions. I don't think any professor in any college, if you email somebody or try to contact, I don't think they're gonna not help you. I think they're all gonna talk to you or email or help you. We are not there to we're there to assist you. So
Of course.
but what not to do is not have an idea what is expected for you to do, and sometimes it takes by surprise how somebody already have a date. It's gonna be in a few months. They don't even know what's supposed to be in there,
Yes.
So
Yeah. We had one of our members who's auditioning for, I think it's Rock School in the UK, and they have exactly what it is that they need to have done, all the requirements for their audition, so all they needed to do was just to practice exactly what it is that they had said. They even had, you can choose one or two of the play-alongs to do and all this kind of stuff. And I can see that being a real help. And you can obviously, just like I said, get in touch with you at Berklee or wherever the university is or college, or even if it's a band too. I know bands sometimes will send you a scratch track or some of their old demos that you can rehearse to and all that. So cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So if they don't send you anything, do you just kind of go in just as prepared as you can be with the basics? Like, what are the basics? Like, what are the things that you look for, I guess?
I would make my life goal every day to figure out what's gonna happen. If I can, I will spy. No. I really need to figure out what's gonna go down, Then I never heard of a college that's not gonna send you nothing, but hypothetically, then my next strategy is like contact somebody who went there or who's there now, and say, hey, how was your audition? What did you do? And try to kind of get information that way. I'm going to go back a little bit. When you get the information, right? So let's say you've passed that phase. You contact them, you have a list of things. Some of the things you're going to know what it is. Some of the things you're not going to understand, for instance, or might have room to be worked out. For instance, let's say, bring a prepared piece. Get a teacher, right, to help you with those decisions, so you get a piece that's going to help you to feature your best. One of the myths that's out there is that Berklee is a jazz school, and then you're going to go there and you have to play jazz to please us. That's not true. We want you to play your heart out and be yourself. Whatever music you into it, we want to see the truth. We want to see who you are, what do you love, who are you? That's what we want to see, so we can help you get in touch with people and classes and give you the tools that you can develop you on. We're not going to develop you, okay? You're going to develop you. We're just going to help you go through your path, but you need to show us, if you know your path, it's going to be helpful. So let's say, if you like a rock drummer or a heavy metal drummer or whatever, and then you're going to play something that you really don't like it, or you don't play well because you think you're going to please us, don't do that. Right? So play what you love.
Play what's in your comfort zone and showcase what.
Play what you do that.
Very cool. Actually, we were talking, the one cool point that you mentioned, and this is what you did on your own audition when you were auditioning to get into Berklee, was going a little bit early and figure this one out, guys, and finding where to go before you actually have to be there. Finding the room and scoping out the room.
Yeah, actually, this was on my last interview, actually, to get the gig teaching at Berklee.
Yeah.
So I was there the night before. I went to different buildings. I figured out where I was gonna go, because was like I was not at Berklee for many years, so I kind of had to reacquaint myself. But I remember one thing. One of the meetings for this job interview, was I had to do a presentation in front of a panel. So I figured out what the room was and got somebody with a key, and I got in there, and all of a sudden I'm on this kit, tweaking and tuning, because I was there 2 hours earlier, So when it was time to actually go to that room, I already played it, that drums was all kind of like this, So it's like, when you have audition, don't try to figure out what the building is 5 minutes before you audition, okay? Go the night before, have a plan, be there earlier, have time to react to things, Okay, maybe you're over there, now you're late, but you forgot your package, you gotta go back to your dorm. Now you don't have time to do that. Being earlier is a good habit to have and figure out where you're gonna go so you're not stressed out, you know. Excuse me.
So preparing for the audition, is there any other tips in there? You've contacted, you know what you're going to be doing, you know what the material there is required, you know the building you're going to be in, you're comfortable with the kit. Anything else, any other tips you would give on how to prepare just for getting the materials and all that?
Getting a teacher is going to be helpful because you could get a bunch of lessons where you are showing what you have to play to somebody else, which is kind of get used to playing in front of somebody else who's going to give you feedback. Mm-hmm. So if you don't have a teacher, get your buddies, get your drum buddies to do a fake little audition team and ask for feedback and present your audition or record, watch yourself, how you doing it. You know, practice as much as possible the way you think you're going to be doing that. And another tip, I would try to avoid songs that has little parts, like this song that I just played had a little part that I played my cowbells, right? Mm-hmm. So let's say this is not here now, the bells. So now I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put my hands and stuff, right? I would pick tunes that you could play with the one tom-tom, a snare drum, a floor tone, a bass drum. Maybe, you know, because you might be playing on a kit that doesn't have a lot of stuff. So don't rely, I would avoid that for the prepared piece. And I also recommend, you don't have to do that, but statistically, the guys or girls that brings a song with the iPhone and play with tracks, it's better because it's already in the music environment. We see what you're doing within context of a tune or a song. So it's cool to have a solo, a transcription, but it's much better to play with music. It's another myth that we might not have a sound equipment. That's not true. In the percussion department, we are prepared to get your laptop or your iPhone or your iPod. Some kids doesn't use iPods anymore. They just bring the phone. Mm-hmm. But we have the cables, and you're gonna have speakers for your audition. So playing with music is always cool. So for your prepared piece, it's a better idea. Yeah, you know, some that's 3 minutes, 4 minutes. And with music, I think you're gonna have more fun playing it. And also when you play with music, you can prepare, you can rehearse, and you'll be more relaxed, you know. As opposed to like a solo piece or something. Yeah, now you're gonna read something, what transcription. Now we have a copy of it. Now, you know, it's like, it's cool, but I recommend my students to, I mean, these people that are on Skype with me right now preparing to audition, they're all gonna play with tracks. You know? Yeah. So very cool. Okay, so now you have the material, you know what you do. How do you present the material? And these are the best tips. We've been talking about this all day. So how do you present the material? What are some do's and don'ts about this? This is a great question and a great topic because I see a big problem with that most of the time. Is that we all understand that drums is a company instrument. It's not a solo instrument. It can be, but you know, 90% of the time we play on a band. Either you're comping for a solo, for a singer. It's not like you don't go to a gig and solo all night long. So, have said that, you know, if you go to a rehearsal and you talk to the saxophone player and goes like, hey, can you play your part by yourself? And the guy, he can do that. And then you go do the piano player. Can you play your part? And he can. And you go to the singer. Can you sing just by yourself? She can. She knows the lyrics. Can we? Can we play the song by ourselves, and stay on the form and sing everything without relying on them? I was actually doing auditions with a great drummer, another professor there, Dave DeSenso. He's amazing. He said something really cool. Somebody did that, and he was kind of playing, you know, and then Dave said, you know, he was playing to the band, not with the band. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's gonna give you confidence. If you can play, like this is something I learned with Alan Dawson. He will make us learn a blues head or a 32-bar form or whatever and sing it and play while you're singing and solo while you're singing. So that gives you that kind of you can play it on your own, right? Mm-hmm. The problem for auditions with that, which is a great skill to have, and you should all start doing that, 12-bar blues, 32-bar form, asymmetric forms and all that. The problem with that sometimes is, let's say the shortest form will be a 12-bar blues. and let's say they go, hey, Dave, play a little swing for us. Most guys, that's a good way to do it, right? You're gonna sing a blues and you're gonna play, so everything is gonna kind of make sense because it's gonna have a form. And even if you tell us, hey, I'm gonna play all blues, so we know the tune, we can hum on our heads, we can see, oh, this guy knows form and all that. But that is kind of long sometimes because audition teams, they vary personalities. Some guys might cut you off right away not because you didn't play well, but they already got the information that they need. Okay, this guy's great. Okay, cool, man, that's good. Let's do something else. So you might not get to the 12 bars. So what do you do then, right? How can you play something that's going to make sense form-wise that's not even as long as 12 bars? Or reduce it. Maybe 2 bars, right? Maybe something like... right? So you have this, like a little clave going. So automatically, even if you cut me off in 4 bars, whatever I play on those bars made a little sense.
Gotcha.
Right? So it'll be like something like this. So what not to do is to play, there is no form, and whatever you're playing is random, there is no phrasing, right? So this is one strategy. Get a little kicks that you can play off. You can write it down if you want in practice or hum and sing. The other way of doing it is you don't have those little rhythm figures in your head, but you're gonna phrase it. You're gonna have a conversation here. So it'll be something like, I'll try to do it. And so that way you have those things prepared. So you could start with the 12-bar blues. If the audition team, you start cutting you off really quick, change the, okay, next example they ask, I'm gonna go to the phrasing thing, right? If they still doing that, maybe you go to the 2-bar idea. So everything you play, even if it's short, is gonna make sense. I hope that helps.
Yeah, that's a good tip. How long do each student usually have with an audition?
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
15.
15, 1-5.
It's 4 students per hour.
Okay. How does that time usually look?
What do you mean?
Breakdown, like you come in, say hello type of thing. Is it different every time or?
The minute I say, I open the door, come on in, he's tickling. The clock,
okay.
He starts immediately.
Okay.
As we speak to you, we already gather information immediately. As you walk to the drums, I say, hey, where you from? You know, what do you play? And you're gonna be adjust your hi-hat. I'll be like, hey, what kind of styles you into, man? Blah, 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 you know. And another thing, sorry to back up to the presentation of the grooves, it's kind of cool to have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and to show the audition team maybe different versions of a groove. Like if I say, you know, play a mambo for us, you know, instead of playing a beat and stay there forever, you know, maybe you want to count in, do a count off, or in anything, can be in rock, in funk, do a count off, start maybe, if in pop and rock music, usually there is an intro and you're gonna go to a verse maybe, right? Mm-hmm. And then you're gonna do a fill and go to a pre-chorus or a chorus or a bridge. And then from there, you either go back to a verse or if you wanna go up to a solo. So if you can think like that and compress that in like a macro tune.
Okay, yeah.
Like if I do that 4 bars, right?
beautiful.
Was that right?
Sounded great.
Was that 4 bars?
Yeah, it wasn't 4 bars, but it
Failed the
great.
audition. No,
You're out, buddy.
but you know what I mean? Has a little kind of, no, here's what not to do, right? So you go like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool, but with like, you only show one little thing, you know, do a little feel, go to the ride, you know, do a little feel, do something else. If there is a style that has different, that you have different versions of it, show us maybe 3, show that you, like I said to you, play with the rhythm a little bit, you know? Reggae, that's one that gives people problem to start, right? Like, strange way to start, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So get used to that, because you might walk in there and somebody will count you off, and oh, here's something to really pay attention. When you go to audition and they ask you to play a mambo, a songo, a 6/8,
Yeah.
at least at Berklee, it depends who is auditioning you, right? Because if you get the guys that play Latin music all the time, they might count everything in cut time. You dig? So they might be go, hey, how about trading 4s on a mambo? And they might go, but they're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 2 measures per clavi, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or if it's a songo. So this is going 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, ta, 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 ta. So if you're trading 4s like that, they're gonna go pretty quick.
Yeah.
So if you don't understand that, you traded 4s, you're trading 4s, but you think it was in 4/4. They think you don't know how to trade 4s because you're messing the form up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's okay to ask them.
Okay.
Hey, let's do a mambo. Are you counting in cut time or in 4/4? I'm here in the U.S. I mean, not here. This is Canada, but I'm in the U.S. for so long. I think in 4 now. You know, I might ask you like 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's gonna be a whole clavi here. So your 4s are gonna be much slower. It's gonna be longer, right? So pay attention to that. 6/8 also is tricky because some guys will sing 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, right? Ting ting chaku tika tuka kukun kun chikun tilo kun. But some guys might go 1, 2, 3, 4.
You also said a good tip is to count off your own music whenever you can. Like if they say, all right, play a rock groove, count off confidently your own piece. Always they might count it off for you higher tempo than you'd want to do it. This way you can control the tempo. I like that tip that you said, yeah. Okay, so I have a bunch of questions I want to ask you about things that you've seen students do that you like and things that you don't. But before, there's a couple other points that we were talking about. What about gear? Like when you get in there, how much time do they have to kind of adjust the gear? And what do you see that students always make a mistake at when they come in for their audition?
I try to help the students. Everybody there try to help the students. As a matter of fact, we've seen a little bit of, like for instance, double bass pedals are very peculiar, right? For instance, I like the double bass pedal to be very loose springs. You might like really tight. So double bass pedal now is becoming like part. We have a couple of kits with double bass pedals there, and if you have your pedal or your double bass pedal and you want to put on the kit, we'll let you do. But here's a tip, okay? Don't walk on the audition with your double bass pedal in the hallway. It's all packed up. You're not gonna have time to unzip the thing and come in there. Show us that you hustle it. You know, your pedal is already ready to go. It's all adjusted already. You know, and then you go like, hey, can I do that? And we're gonna help you. It's gonna be really quick instead of walking there and you half asleep and can I use my pedal? Yeah, where is it? It's outside, right? Go get your pedal, you know, whatever, you know, and then avoid extreme things like, okay, I'm gonna play this prog rock piece, and I brought my 7 octabuns and a china and a lot of gear. It's okay to use a lot of gear. I have nothing against that. But those auditions, it's not a concert, okay? We're just trying to figure out some information about you playing that. So I would really avoid that, like a lot of gear, because you're gonna take so much time to do that, and that time could be used on something else. And I can't talk for everybody, but the things that we are looking for, you're not gonna need that to show us what we're looking for, you know?
What do you mean by that?
We are looking at how you play your time. How's your technique? How do you listening to the music? Can you improvise a little bit or not? You know, so it really doesn't matter on the end, because we can tell like in 5 seconds. You know, really.
Really?
I think so. I don't know. My colleagues, my peers might correct me, but it doesn't take a long time to figure. Like some guys, they come in. When they start playing, we're like, cool, this is cool, you know, like maybe in a few measures, you know, but that's just me, you know.
So I know a lot of drummers, they get so frustrated because they have so much to learn when they're going to audition. They got to learn how to sight read. They got to learn how to play jazz, so to speak, or all these other styles and snare solos and stuff like that. What do you think is the biggest struggle that people have coming in for auditions? What do you think the biggest weaknesses in these drummers?
I'm going to speak just to myself. You might interview another Berklee professor, and he or she might have a whole different... It's very true that too. Every professor at Berklee, it's a university, okay? Because every peer that I talk to, I learn so much from them. You know, I just took a brush class with Joe Hazillo. I talked to Ken Wood, and he showed me something. And I have a project with Jerry Leak, and he showed me all this stuff. But each professor is a whole world on its own. But lost my train of thought here. What did you ask? Sorry.
I was asking, what is the biggest struggle you see the students have when they come in for audition?
Reading.
Okay.
So that's what I was gonna say.
Sure.
They might see something else. My own private students, even after the audition, one of the things that I work with them is reading, snare reading. And rudimental reading and drum set short interpretation is a big challenge for them. And a lot of people never played snare drums in their career, so they don't understand how important it is. But if you go, when I went to the South and I saw the whole marching band thing on the South, every college has the football team and a marching band. That's all snare drum, that's all rudiments. So even if you're gonna be a student, you're gonna play snare drum, and if you're a teacher, you're trying to find a job, snare drum is still used, okay? I played in concert band for many years with snare drum. I played in marching band, snare drum. And the snare drum helps your hands, and orchestral snare, that helped my career because I played in orchestra where I'm not really good mallet player, I'm not a really good timpani player, but because I play set, they hired me to play set, but they you know, I played snare drum and bass drum and cymbals. I was doing battery, and there was 2 guys actually on this band, Steve Brzezicki, who is now in Germany, and Tim Blake, who is still in Colorado. Those guys are monster players, amazing players. So I was flanked by like really good musicians. Mike Woods on timpani was a fantastic timpanist, and I would show drum set stuff to them. They would show me snare, But yeah, get your snare stuff together. You can learn that a lot, like classical things, you know, that use, you know, bass roll things, you know. That's something that a lot of the students, they don't understand, that bass roll is still metered. You know, like if you're playing a piece at this tempo in 16th notes, those bass rolls are gonna be moving in 16 notes. If you're playing triplets, so you see a lot that on the audition, they have bass rolls, and then each time they play the roll is a different roll because maybe they go, instead of going, they might be going.
Yeah.
Now, tempo varies. If you have a piece that starts to be so slow, you're not gonna go. Then you're gonna have a decision to make. Are you gonna go to 6? Like those guys that I used to work for, they were like Tim Blake. Sometimes this guy that worked with me, he would be playing 5 sometimes and 7 in there because it was just enough time for him to do the rolls. Where if you're on an audition and they ask you to play a rudimental piece, those rolls are gonna be like double stroke rolls. They're not gonna be large rolls.
Okay, so do you need to know all 40 rudiments in the audition?
No, but I'm old school, man. I went to Alan Dawson, John Ramsey. It's like I counted the permutations, so I know the old rudiments. I know 120 of them by memory, and I do the ritual. And my students, I was in the Air Force, so I got a little bit of that with them. They have to do this to me, You know what I mean? Like, okay, let's go. Rough, single drag, double drag, single rotama double rotama triple rotama. You know what I mean? They have to do that,
For the audition process?
No.
Okay,
no.
I was going to say.
But I mean, if you got a guy like me, whatever they're going to ask you, you're going to play.
Yeah.
You're going to know it. You're not going to know 1 or 2. We're going to know 120 of them.
Yeah.
You bring it in, you're going to know it.
Okay, we are running low on time. We only got about 15 or so minutes left. We want to get questions, so we'll go a little later because we've got some more playing we want to do. But before I get into the next section, what are some of the biggest things that you see people who are coming into audition do that are detrimental to their audition process? Like some of the most common things you see that immediately that's a tick off their name or something like that.
I think one of the things that might, be respectful, be nice. I remember one guy came in one time. I think I was doing an audition with Bob Timagny, a great teacher there, and somebody else. And this kid came in, and I said, "Hey, have you played jazz?" "Yeah, I play jazz, man." "Have you played rock?" "Yeah, I play rock too." "Yeah, Latin, everything. I play everything, man." I'm like, "Cool. Well, that's nice. Do you read?" He went, "Yeah, I read." And we're like, "Wow, this is gonna be the really great," or
terrible.
You don't need to do that, And we're not perfect either, right? So you gotta. Here's one thing too that I told you earlier. Sometimes we do that so much that I don't know. Sometimes I might be rushing auditioning. So be polite. You can tell me that, or when I say me, it's the audition team anywhere. It doesn't have to be Berklee. If you come in audition and say, "Hey, Dave, we're gonna do a little sight reading," and I put something and I start doing that, maybe because you audition need number 37, you can say, "Excuse me, sir, can I take a look at this?" We're not gonna say now, But we gotta. Sometimes we're on that rhythm, and we might, take your time. You ask them to take a second. It's okay
that's
to
all
do
cool.
that. Yeah.
So relax. Don't be so nervous and think that you want it right away. Just take a breath, I guess.
Yeah, we are not there to gotcha. We're there to help you, to assist you. And I know it's hard for us not to get nervous. I still get nervous all the time, But to understand that we do that a lot. You're not the first guy. Whatever happens to you, I already saw it. Like if you play great, you're not going to be the first great guys we see. If you didn't do so well, that's not the first time we see that. Hey, that happens to it. There's times I don't sound, we all suck sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's life, You have to say, okay, tomorrow is another day. What did I do that was not great? And work, or keep work. We're on this together, man. I didn't master anything. I'm a student too, I'm just trying to be positive. Because you have 2 options, okay? I can either say, well, I'm not good enough to come here and play and cry all day, right? Or I can say, you know what, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna do my best, that's my life, and I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna love it, and if I had a bad night, tomorrow I'm gonna have, try to have a better night. Don't worry about other people. If I did that, I wouldn't be here tonight.
Totally.
You know?
Okay, last question that I have for you is, what are the things that you see students do that are beneficial to their audition process? The things that they do right when they walk into the room or as they're doing their piece that you're like, this guy, I like this. Or what are some tips there or some things that you've seen?
The guy that's prepared. The guy walks in, first of all, he's early. Right? Nobody's there, the guy's already there. Hey, he's got audition here. Oh, this guy got stuff together, right? He has his package on his hand. He walks in. Do you have your package? Yeah, he's right here. Good.
Okay.
Can you have your ID? Yeah, the guy's smiling, he's shaking hands, he has eye contact, and he's aware. He's waiting to see what you're gonna ask him or her to do. He will sit on the drums, and he sits on the drums, and he's like this or her. They're not even adjusting nothing, I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but
sure,
they're engaged. That's the word. They're already engaged. We're not trying to engage with him or her. They're already engaged. And they are there, and they have this kind of, I don't know what to call that, they have that open channel, and they understand what you're saying. Sometimes guy comes in playing with the track, we stop the track, they keep playing, They didn't notice, that happens all the time. The track is going, we're like, yo, whoa, excuse me, sir. Music is, we gotta go in that, tap,
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, so one last quote that you said, and I'm not sure if this is you who said the quote originally, but it was, don't go in to impress, just express.
Kenwood Denard.
There it is.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really cool quote.
Yeah, he said, you don't need to impress, just express.
Yeah.
Kenwood's cool.
He sounds like a great guy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, before we wrap up, is there any last minute tips that you wanted to give or anything that we missed talking about how to audition, how to land the audition, how to prepare for it, anything that we might have missed?
Have control. We don't have controls of our lives. I don't have control of my life. God has control of my life. But whatever you can have control, try it. If they send you music, you should try to play that great because you already saw it. Prepare that. Try to have control of the stuff you have control. And play your heart out. Play with your heart and soul. Play what you like. Play what you love. And regardless of what type of school or that you're applying for, play what you love,
There you go.
Yeah.
So let's gather some questions here. I'm sure there's going to be a lot. You have another piece that you're going to prepare. Are
Yeah.
you prepared for us? What is this one?
This one is, I just got into GarageBand. I know I'm behind everybody. Nobody even uses that anymore. But, I'm digging practicing with GarageBand. And the other day I had to, I was practicing some odd grouping phrasing, so I kind of did a little loop to explore the possibilities of playing things over the beats a little bit, maybe not too much over the bar line, but change it, things that are not 2 and 4 sometimes.
Okay, sounds good. And we'll get to some questions right after this, and then after that, you'll play us out with one more piece, which is awesome, by the way. I've heard it. It's great.
Can you give me the
space bar?
The space bar in a sec.
I'm the official space bar guy. So you let me know when you're ready, Henrique. Hat's good. Ready to roll?
Yeah.
was awesome. That was awesome. Well played. You played the triplet shuffle in there. That was great. That was a group he was teaching me the other night. Yeah, it was great. Anyway,
Play that for you.
You did it for me. Well, thank you. It's inspiring. Question time. You ready?
Yeah.
Here's one from Kiddo. Kiddo Ian says, "Hey there, I'm a high school student and I'm applying for a musician's institute right now. If I play my rudiment in a slow tempo such as 100 or 120, but do it well, is that still going to make me fail because of the slow tempo?"
No, you're gonna call them and call Donnie Gronler, the director, who is my buddy, and say, Henrique De Almeida asked to call you and that you're gonna hook me up.
There you go, kiddo.
What rudiment? What did...
He just said rudiments in general. Is it detrimental for him to play incorrectly at a slower tempo? Is that going to make him fail because he's playing it at a
Great question. Here's what you do with the rudiments. When you ask for rudiments, don't play as fast as you can. Don't play very slow either, right? Just play them like, name a rudiment.
Pataflafla.
Pataflafa. If you can't play like that, you could go, that's a Swiss rudiment. We're gonna, at Berklee, we start that like, it's not level 1. But
okay.
So I would go, not very fast, it's not very slow, but if you go kind of like this, you know. If it's too slow, we start get suspicious, you know. Why he's playing that slow?
Okay.
Does he really know? It's like if you say play a paradiddle. You don't need to play fast, you could go. They'll go to the next one. But if you go like, you don't need to go. That either, but if you go kind of like, we're gonna say, hey, cool, can you play a little faster?
Yeah.
Right? So don't worry about the speed, just don't play like extremely slow, and then I wouldn't go for the extremely fast either, right?
Yeah.
Play nice and comfortable, you'll be fine.
Cool. Hopefully that helps, kiddo, and good luck with your audition. Astro Mud 2 has a question for you. Says, I can barely read music at all. Does this mess me up completely for a college audition?
Yes. I have great news for you. What's his name? Donnie?
Yeah. Hold on. Yes.
Here's the good news.
Astro Mud.
Astro got good news for you. You're not gonna open the paper tomorrow and gonna read, hey, there is new notes just came out. The notes are the same for many years. So once you learn how to read, it's an investment. You don't need to relearn all the time. Now, I teach a class, chart read interpretation, and I tell my students for them to try to understand why do you think we need to read? Well, a good reason is you could go to a session and play maybe in 2 hours 20 songs that you never played before. Which is pretty cool, right? You're not gonna sit there and learn 20 songs in an hour session, you know? I mean, you might if you like Danny Chambers or somebody, but... So reading is cool for that. But if you wanna take this home, you memorize it. Memorize is great. You use your ears, but you learn how to read is gonna really help. Let's say we hang together and I play something and you wanna learn what it is, I can write it down and give it to you.
Yeah.
And you can, if you have an idea that you like, you know, I mean, I wrote so many books. I'm on a level now that I can write and explain almost everything I play.
That's really
I
cool.
mean, if you open the double bass book or the polyrhythm book, it's all written out. It's all in here. And then what happens is you start to, I might be listening to a song. I might be hearing a groove like, I see how it notates, you know. I can see on my brain. And that's a good thing. So learn how to read. Learn how to read one single line. The Ted Reed book is a good book for that. The Louis Belson text in 4/4. Just open page and be able to read things on one line that would look like something like this, you know. Learn how to read triplets. mix them together. And then the next step to reading is to orchestrate. You know, there is a whole other. We actually might have a course here about that, so stay tuned.
Yes, big time. And along the same lines of the course, Isaac T says, "What time is the molar lesson after this? Say hi to Henrique from me. I'm his Afro-Cuban Brazilian lab." One of his Afro-Cuban Brazilian lab.
Who is that?
His name is Isaac T.
Yeah, Isaac. See you next week. Practice.
Yeah, do your homework, Isaac. So it's not going to be a live lesson. We're filming that as a course. Every time we bring in a guest artist, they usually do a live lesson with us, which we do for free every Monday. And we also do a Drumeo course, which is a pre-filmed, kind of like a mini pack that we release for all the Edge members. And that is what he's doing with us. We're doing a polyrhythm possibilities one, some exercises from his book, and also a molar technique one. So that'll be available for Edge members only, and probably in the next month or two we'll have it released.
Yeah, and they can go to Amazon.com right now.
Yes, and get the books.
Tonight.
Yes.
And you can Google, and then you can see it.
Polyrhythmic Possibilities is awesome. I've just been looking at some of the pages on here. Some of the pieces you have are insanely complex, complicated, but at the same time achievable with the steps that you have. Very cool book. Double Bass, another great book. Not for like power heavy metal, but very...
It can be.
It can be, but very useful, very cool and unique. And the Molar Technique Workshop, again, you use these a lot with your classes at Berklee too.
Yeah.
So definitely go and check those out on Amazon. Okay, a couple more questions, then we'll get you to play us out here. This one is from, I can't pronounce your name, I'll try. Renee Rolle-Milio asks, I know in Berklee they give you about 15 minutes to warm up before your audition. What do you think is in your best interest to do with those 15 minutes? Or if you don't have that time, what do you think is a good way to prepare for your audition mentally? Renee Reese, Boston, one of the best teachers I've had on the 5-week program at Berklee is you. So that's really cool.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's different, but, you know, if you were my son, right, I say that a lot to my students because they're like 20, you know, whatever. I'm 50 years old, but my idea, and when I say that, it's like in a loving way, right? I would ask you to go early, sit down, and calm your heart, and go mentally what you're gonna do. You know, playing the rudiments and play your piece. Sometimes that is better than being on a pad, you know, spastic and blowing your chops. You know, if you want to warm up a little bit, you know, you could do just, you know, just. Whatever you want to do. Maybe sometimes when I warm up, I play complete ideas instead of being like, that's another thing too. People play on a pad really strong and then they don't realize how loud that would be on a snare drum. So just warm up 5 minutes and be quiet by yourself, go into your head, visualize yourself doing well. You know, that's my recommendation for you.
Very
before unless you're playing something that's going to be extremely fast and very physically demanding, you know, then, yeah, I would be moving my feet. Sometimes I would be doing, the producer gonna not like this because I changed position. But, but this can get you going now. You know, moving your feet and your hands, you know, easy, simple.
Stuff like that. Fair enough. Okay. You have a lot of fans here that are watching you live, a lot of students. One of them is Pablo. Now, I'm not going to bring Pablo Hatch. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but he says it was an honor to be taught by this master at week 5. Please read this message. Another one from Demat Matthias says, say hi to him, please, from me, from one of his students. So you have a lot of people watching you live right now, cool. Buddy. That's great. And then we'll finish with this question. This is a little off topic, but I'll get your opinion on it anyway. This is from CIHSSEN. Says, you work together with, now forgive me if I pronounce this wrong, Hermeto Pascoal, called in Brazil as a musician wizard. He says, how is the experience working with such a living legend? And best regards for Brazil.
Yeah. Hermeto, actually, I played with Hermeto in Boston. And he was doing something at Berklee. It was very brief. I think I played a couple of tunes with him at the Berklee Performance Center when I was a student. I think it was 89 or 1990. It was very fast. The only thing I remember, I don't even know what we did, but I remember when he wants me to go crazy on the drums, you know, he would look at me and go like that. Yeah, he's a genius. Egbertus Monte is another one. But I did play with the King of Bayonne, the Charlie Parker of Bayonne, Luis Gonzaga. I played with Luis Gonzaga, you know, when I was with Alceu. If you know what a Bayonne is, that's the cat who, you know. Anyway.
Very cool. I'm pronouncing people's names wrong in here, so I'm going to stop with the names here. Let's wrap it up with a song.
Yeah, cool.
Now, what is this track you're going to play?
This track is a song that I wrote. I did a record many years ago called Samba Songs, and is available on my webpage. It's available on Amazon.com and on iTunes. And it's all samba, different samba styles. And then when I was playing with the folks, John Dawson was one of the arrangers. He made a big band arrangement. And I dig it because, you know, you don't see big bands playing samba, you know. So this is a big band arrangement of my song, Deixa, Falar.
Very cool.
Carnival.
Well, thank you so much for coming out here, Henrique.
Yes.
Yes, your cable, Victor just asks me, your cable is dangling down and getting into the way of the foot cable. Is that good there, Victor? Give me a thumbs up. Beautiful. All right, buddy. Hey, thank you so much.
1 second.
Yes.
Drumeo, I need to tell that to the world. Those guys are amazing people, amazing crew, everybody behind there. You guys are fantastic.
You're too kind, Henrique.
What they did for me for the last 2 days and hope tomorrow too. I mean, this kid, when I came here, when I sat down yesterday, I was a little worried. He said, don't worry, this is like I'm home. And they did everything, heads and everything I asked, they did. It's amazing, amazing people. You're so kind, and I'm honored to be here. What you guys doing is absolutely fantastic. I'm so
Thank you so
impressed.
much.
And you guys, what, 20 years old each one? So
well,
congratulations on your project, Drumeo.
Thank you.
This is fantastic. It's really cool.
And you're welcome to come back here anytime, buddy.
Will do.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the other side. Thank you so much, Henrique.
And you're going to do the bar thing?
Do you want me to press space?
Yes, sir.
Let me know when you're ready, man.
Yeah. Let's do it.